Peace, everybody. Welcome back. Today, we are going to be talking about some different tips so that you can stay healthy during this winter season. The weather has certainly changed on us. We had some warm days a couple weeks ago where it was like here in New York in its 40s, which is pretty good, and even 50s some days, and then went down to 30s and the 20s. And now it's been consistently cold, and even all around the country it's been getting snow down south. My family down in South Carolina, I think even down maybe, I don't know if it went all the way down to Florida also, but I'm getting calls from all around of people getting sick with colds, the flu, and this is really knocking folks out. So I said, let me get on and let's talk about this. Let's do some things that we can do at home. Let's talk about some things that you can do at home and just some simple things for you and your family and your households to stay strong within this season here. So yeah, let's get started. I'm Dr. Bashar Wilson. I'm a doctor of acupuncture and traditional Eastern medicine in private practice since 2003. So that's 22 years this year in private practice, and then counting school going back to 98 in this field. And so I love coming on and helping our folks out with all of the different tips. And so, again, today we're talking about things we can do for colds and the flu. Always, the first tip that I always will give is for you to stay hydrated. Um, so many people are dehydrated this season of the year when it's cold out and it's dry. Also, your skin gets really dry. Your lips get dry and cracked. Your eyes can even get dry and everything. And so, if you're dry like that on the outside, you're dry on the inside. Don't get fooled by the cold. A lot of times we'll think that, when we think about dehydration, we can think about the summertime where it's hot out and we're sweating, but this season too, we definitely want to stay hydrated. I recommend that you drink warm water or even hot water. I came into the office today. We have a kitchen in the front. I'm working like a co-working type space, and it was first thing in the morning. And one of the folks that has an office here, she went right to the water dispenser, and she had like a big cup of ice and she was drinking this cold water, and I was like, wow, just really setting herself up. Folks love cold water, but we want to drink room temperature water. We want to drink hot water because our body is going to have to heat it up anyway. Our body's optimal temperature is 98.6 degrees, and when we drink cool beverages, we're cooling down our system, we're cooling down the digestive fire. And that's going to be more work for the body to have to do, more resources, more energy that it's going to take to warm up your to warm up um your body, excuse me, to warm up your body. And we're already using a lot of resources this season of the year just to stay warm in general. That's part of the reason why people are more apt, it's easier for people to get sick this time of the year because it takes resources just to keep the body warm. And that's why we want to dress appropriately this time of the year. We want to keep our heads covered. They've always say how most of our heat escapes through our head. I remember when I was in high school playing football, JV football, before I started running long distance. But, we would play out in the fall weather, and some days it would drop down to like the 50s or the 40s, but running and everything out there, we'd be all sweaty. And then after practice, you take your helmet off and be like all of this steam coming off your head. It looked like smoke coming off your head, like it was on fire. And so that's that body heat leaving through the head. And so we may not see it like that because, you're not running around sweating and taking off your hat in this weather unless you're running and stuff outside. But in that same way, your heat is escaping through your head. So you want to make sure that you are keeping your head covered. That's one easy way to preserve your health this time of the year. You want to keep your scarf on also. In Eastern medicine, we say that wind and the cold can get into the body through your neck. And when you're like some of the first signs of being sick, people can have fevers and chills. People can have neck pain, can have like generalized body aches, can have cough, and then as that goes deeper and deeper in, can lead to, like I say, the cold, flu, and all sorts of other conditions. It is worse, pneumonia. Um, so we want to preserve our body by just keeping that force field up in the best way that we can, and that's in a form of clothing. Just when the weather gets this um this season of the year, I'm speaking to one of my clients earlier. She was telling her grandson, that we don't dress for the weather, we dress for the season. So even if the weather gets a little warmer, you don't want to start taking your clothes off, because a lot of times the temperature will drop back down the next day, and then the day after that, it'll snow. So once it starts getting cold like this, if you have on your long johns or your thermal underwear, you really want to wear that every day unless it's really, really unseasonable warm. But you want to wear those thermals. You don't want to. You want to wear those thermals or whatever it is until the end of the season. You don't want to be taking clothes off and on, off and on, off and on, because that's a sure way to get sick. If you do get caught out there in some inclement weather, you get caught out there without a scarf on or without a hat. I know a lot of people drive, and you're just thinking, I'm just going to run from the house to the car to the store, and back into the house. That's one sure way to get sick. Years ago, um, I drive myself, and I had an office up in the Bronx, and the Bronx is like further north than Brooklyn, and it's kind of on a higher elevation. And so one day I was up there, and it was like brick. It was just a snowstorm, so um, the ground was covered in snow and ice, and I had on like a leather shirling, and I had a hat on, but I didn't have a scarf, because I said, hey, I can just run from the car to the office. And the office was like 2 blocks away. But as soon as I stepped out the car, that Bronx air, that joint just wanted to fight. That joint just hit me, boom, hit me right in my chest. And when I got to the office, I felt something in my chest, but I was younger and I was like, whatever. I drink some tea maybe, but I just kind of worked throughout the whole day. When I woke up the next day, my voice was gone. And my voice was gone for 3 days, and I was constipated. I couldn't move my bowels or speak for 3 days. And I know it was that wind and that cold going into my chest and also going into my digestive system. And it literally locked me up. And that was in like 2009, 2010, around that time. And even still to this day, I have to make sure that I cover my lungs, because that made like almost like it changed almost like the structure and even karma of my body in that way. So to prevent that from happening to you, and especially your young people, your young folks out here, your children, have to always tell my son, put your hat on, put your hat on, put your hat on, because folks watching other folks not dressed properly, taking the wrong cues, and so we want to protect ourselves. Um, and our families, our children, our elders. Well, elders, they're going to dress proper because they already know they're not trying to get sick. Um, and so we want to take care of ourselves in that way. So, again, if you get caught out in the cold weather and you get caught slipping without a scarf on or without a hat on, when you get inside, one of the first things that you want to do is take something that's going to cause you to sweat. You want to open your pores to get that sweat out. So some things that can help with that are like miso soup, You can make fresh miso soup, or they also have like the miso soup instant packs. Is better than nothing. You can drink some hot tea. That's going to help you to sweat. Some peppermint tea. Well, peppermint's more for the summer, but even in the wintertime, if you're inside, that peppermint tea, that peppermint opens up the pores to let that sweat out. Fresh ginger tea is also, of course, going to open up the pores. Like ginger is something that's going to help the body sweat when it's colder out, and that mint is going to be something that we want to use to sweat for that wind and that cool breeze in the winter. I mean, excuse me, in the spring and the fall time, and even some of the summer. But you can drink all of these, all the time of year. You can drink some other type of tea. You can take a hot bath, a hot shower, because you don't want that cold. Like if you come in and you're shivering and things, that's that cold literally locked. It's like it locked into your body. It's like it got behind the gates and now it's in your castle. It's in your throne, which is your body. And so you want to open up your pores. You want to open up those gates to let that sweat and everything um, get on out. So that's some simple things that you can do right there in terms of beverages, or just plain old hot water if you don't have tea. Drink some, just boil some water or almost boiling and drink that down. That's going to warm up your whole body and help you to break a light sweat. Even doing some light exercise, anything that's going to help you to sweat when you come in, that's going to help protect your body to let that wind and that cold out back out of the body. In terms of different foods that you can eat this time of the year, that's going to help to support your lung health and your respiratory health. One of the excellent things is like cabbage, whether you're talking about your green cabbage, especially, or even your red cabbage and onions, and you can even add some garlic to that. But cabbage and onions are excellent for, actually, in Eastern medicine, we say that it goes and helps to support the lung energy. That also is going to help you to break a light sweat. When we look in Eastern medicine, the color for the lungs is white. So any white foods that you have, your cabbage is green, but it has that kind of, it's white on the inside once you get past those initial leaves. Onions, garlic, cauliflower, even your fleshy white foods like your apples and pears. All of these things are going to help to strengthen the lung and support lung health to help protect your body from catching cold, from the flu, from pneumonia, God forbid, and any sort of respiratory condition. These foods are going to help with that. Also, any of your greens. When we look at a tree and we look at nature and liken it to the body, as we get down to our feet, that's like the, hold on one second. All right, there we go. Excuse me. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know who's this. Okay, I don't know. Somebody got in here on the chats, whatever. You got clowns out here. Sorry about that. So, also, this time of the year, your different greens are very excellent in that way. So any of your greens, whether you're talking about your collard greens, mustard greens, kale, bok choy, dandelion greens, you name it, all of these things are also going to be helpful with strengthening the lungs and supporting the lungs this time of the year. Some other things that you can do are also like your essential oils. Essential oils are also very excellent. We can diffuse those in the air with essential oils whenever we apply them to the body, or even if you get organic essential oils and take them internally, you always want to dilute essential oils with olive oil or coconut oil or any sort of base oil. If you're rubbing on the body, you can even dilute it with shea butter or something like that. So, um, excuse me, just lost my train of thought. So, with the essential oils, sorry, you can get some essential oils that are going to help to open up the lungs, like anything that has that menthol sort of opening, like your peppermint, again, wintergreen essential oil, eucalyptus essential oil. Um, those are all things that are going to help to open up your lungs. So you can get like a essential oil diffuser, which is like a little machine, electronic. You put some water in it, and you put a couple drops in the top, and it like vibrates it at a high speed and diffuses it into the air. A cool mist, and that's going to help to clean your air. Any bacteria, any virus, and anything that's airborne, that is going to literally help to purify your air, almost like a natural form of Lysol. These same essential oils you can take and massage them into the skin. And with it, you can get a blend of all of them. Again, your peppermint, eucalyptus, wintergreen, some things that are going to have like an antimicrobial effect against like bacteria and viruses. That's going to be like your oregano oil, even basil oil, cinnamon oil, all of these things, and really most essential oils in general are going to have an antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal, antimicrobial effect in general. So with the essential oil diffuser, you want to keep that diffusing in your room, near your bed, or just in the air in general. You can take a couple drops of essential oil, 2 or 3 drops, with some. You can do it actually just straight in your hand, like 2 or 3 drops in your hand. Rub your hands together like this, and then cup it over your nose and take a couple deep breaths. That's going to go right into your system. As you breathe that in, that's going to get into your lungs, and then your lungs are surrounded by blood vessels, and it's going to take that right into your bloodstream, and that's going to get into your body and let that go to work in your body along with your immune system and help support you in that way too. Some herbs that help with strengthening the energy of the lungs are, we can use what's called like codonopsis, is going to help to strengthen the lungs. Astragalus is going to support your lung chi and strengthen your lungs. Ginseng is also going to support your energy and strengthen your lungs. American ginseng is going to support and strengthen your lungs. You can use licorice in a small amount. People that have high blood pressure, you definitely want to watch and not take high doses of licorice, because licorice can actually raise the blood pressure. What else? We can always take like your ashwagandha when you're not feeling well. That's when like your echinacea and golden seal. I remember years ago, people were taking echinacea and golden seal for everything. They're going to also have that microbial effect in the body to knock out bacteria and viruses, and support the immune system. And with herbs, again, you want to um, take herbs as a formula. So, in addition to the things that I'm saying right now, I want you to go on your own. Hopefully, you're taking some notes right now. I want you to build up your own pharmacy. And for this season of the year, I want you to look up herbs that are going to strengthen your lung energy or your lung chi. You want herbs that are going to stop cough. You want herbs that are going to help get rid of mucus in the body. Um, you want herbs that are going to help to warm the body. And when you mix all of these together in a formula, you get 2 or 3 in each category. There's some herbs that help to, we say, help to nourish and moisten the lungs. So all these things, we want to moisten the lungs, we want to get rid of mucus, we want to strengthen the lung energy, stop cough, and some things for, like I say, boosting your chi, your energy. And so as you blend all of these things together, that formula is going to go in and address all of those things like a family to help to support your body for the cold and the flu. On my website, manifestherbs.com, I have a lung builder tea. I also have a anti, it might still say anti-Rona, but even though, like, even with when coronavirus, I think I can say it now. Remember, it was like a boogeyman. I stayed away from saying that word on social media because they were like flagging accounts during the pandemic if you just said it. But on my website, I also have like an anti-Rona flu tea. But with that, that's going to deal with any sort of lung condition, any flu condition, because in natural medicine, we're not treating disease, we're treating the person. And so I just use that name so folks would know where to go. But you can also get that. So the anti-Rona formula, the lung builder formula. I also have an immune builder formula on there. If you go on and when you check out, if you put in the code herbs 10, you'll save 10% on your whole cart. So take advantage of that. And you want to stock up on those things now so that if you, friend, family, loved one, you already have that in stock and you don't have to order it and wait for that to get in the mail if you're getting it from me, or you don't have to go to the health food store and try to, make um, a scavenger hunt trying to put all these things together. So we want to take care of ourselves when we don't really need to. You know what I mean? The best thing to happen is to not get sick. And so some of these things too, the lung builder, the immune builder, you can take these preventively. And with that flu, just keep that in stock, keep that in your medicine cabinet or even in your freezer to keep it fresh for a long period of time. And you'll have that when you are ready. Um, Again, when we're looking at the energy of the lungs, which is often the main thing attacked with colds and flu, we can look at it metaphysically. The color of the lung, again, is white. So if you're not feeling well, or even in general, one of the secrets of ancient medicine, specifically from the Tao, is to meditate on the color white, eating white foods. And so you can literally sit and take some deep breaths. And as you get deep into that zone, you want to go in and visualize your whole body white, and your lungs white and with a white aura around you. And then take a few deep breaths in that, inhaling and exhaling the color white. And that's going to also help to support the lungs. Because with just talk about it a little bit more, the lungs rules the metal element, which dealt with the fall season. But moving into the winter, we know that the lungs is the delicate organ. We call it the delicate organ because it's actually the only organ that's directly exposed to the outside environment because we're breathing in all the time. When we eat food, the food goes into our stomach, but we're breathing in and out all the time. And so we're exposed to our external environment. And so we want to support that delicate organ being the lungs. Um, the sound for the lungs is like S, like so you can take a deep breath in, and when you exhale, you want to exhale with that. So let's take a couple deep breaths together. You can inhale all the way down to your stomach, and when you exhale, exhale with a. And I'll suggest you do that a couple times, And that's going to, when you're exhaling with that sound, is activating the lungs, and you're also getting any toxic air out of your lungs and any toxic chi out of the lungs also. So let's see what the comments are out here. All right. Numi, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Always. Thank you too for taking care of yourself and your family with the herbs and acupuncture and everything over the years. Mr. D. Low Brown, who is that? Or no, I'm sorry, D'Lo Brown. I appreciate your wealth of knowledge. Been listening to your live presentations lately. Thank you, Mr. D'Lo Brown. That's what it's for. I'm putting this out here for my folks. You know what I'm saying? This I'm glad that y'all are taking this in, and I hopefully, obviously, I think you're learning something, working to present it in that way, and able to activate on this for yourself, because we all gotta be strong and be healthy so that we can bring our gifts and our skills to the table. But when we're feeling down and out, we don't want to do anything. So, said, by the way, this is your old Smack friend. Smack, that's my sports medicine acupuncture certification. So, Darren, what's going on, Darren? All right. Yeah, we were roommates and things. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah. All right. Let's see if we have any more comments on here. Okay, so again, I am Dr. Bashar Wilson. I'm a doctor of acupuncture and Eastern medicine, specializing in sports medicine acupuncture. So, in my private practice with the acupuncture piece, specialize in helping you with any sort of pain in your neck, in your back, your shoulders, knees, hips, whether you're a professional athlete, Olympian, training for the marathon, um, or play pickup ball, hitting the weights, weekend warrior, or just somebody with some arthritis, someone that wants to be able to pick up their child without pain, be able to go up and down the stairs, be able to get out of bed without being stiff in the morning. We used acupuncture and electric stimulation, massage, the heat, all in the office and then at home if you're not able to get into the office. In addition to, for everyone, be able to take your herbs, as we were discussing. We're able to do food, lifestyle, the different things that we discussed today. All of that is part of a healthy lifestyle. And you really want to take care of your physical body, because, like your internal body, because as long as your internal body is off, and when I say that, I'm talking about your heart, your lungs, your kidneys and your liver, your digestive system, um, intestines, reproductive. If any of that is off, your body is not even trying to really heal and take care of that shoulder pain, because it's working to keep its main organs vital. And so we want to take care of our lungs, because taking care of our lungs is going to help with your knee pain and your back pain, because we're all one holistic organism, and we have to take care of our entire body, not just the part that can be paining us right now. And so you can check me out at New York Sports Acupuncture, nysportsacu.com. That's my website. A lot of great information on there. You can also book an appointment on there. And also for an evaluation or consultation, if you want to even talk about your health and other issues that may be going on. Excuse me. I can also be reached at 888 375 5444. You can leave a message there with my answering service, and I'll get back to you. And there, and again, check out my website, manifestherbs.com, and check out the lung builder tea, the anti flu tea on there, the immune builder, and I have a whole bunch of other stuff: colon cleanse, detox, some things for like reproductive health and strengthen, vitality, the blood, everything. Love helping folks with herbs. And yeah, go on there. And lastly, again, when you go on the website, you can put in the code herbs10 to get a 10% discount on your whole cart. So let's see if there are any more comments or questions. And if not, we are going to say peace. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you all next time. We out.